You ever get the feeling you're living in the world's most expensive episode of Candid Camera? Yeah, that's exactly where I found myself, thanks to a 911 call that would end up costing my neighborhood more money and sanity than anybody thought possible. I swear our HOA president should get an award for sheer boneheadedness, but you'll see what I mean. Let me back up a sec, because the day this all blew up, I was just looking for some peace and quiet at my log cabin, not realizing that the real drama was brewing right across the street. So the name's Marcus Rodriguez. My buddies call me Tank, and this cabin perched on the edge of Pine Valley Estates is my refuge. After 3 years of living with the HOA, breathing down everyone's neck about grass length and mailbox height, you learn to lay low. Honestly, after the week I just had wrangling chaos as a SWAT leader, I needed a break. That Saturday, I'd invited my crew Brass, Sage, Phoenix, and Ghost, all guys who know what it means to work under pressure for what we call our decompression ritual. You know, the type grill-going beers, cracked arguments about burgers, and playoff games, flip-flops everywhere. If that's a crime book, me now. We're 5 dudes in our 30s, each in various states of I don't care what I look like. Brass, who could bench press a Buick and laughs like he's trying to raise the dead, was working the grill. Sage, the quiet sniper of the bunch, was straightening chairs like it was a tactical formation. Phoenix lined up the drinks alphabetical, I think, because the guy can't help himself. And Ghost, he'd already claimed the only shady spot, telling stories like he was auditioning for late-night radio. You could say from the outside we might look a little organized. Maybe even intimidating if you don't know us. Apparently, that was all the ammo our HOA President Prudence Whitmore Prue, to those unlucky enough to be on her radar, needed to convince herself we were plotting something nefarious. Now, Prue is the kind of woman who buys binoculars for bird watching, but the only thing she's stalking are her neighbor's business. She'd been HOA president for 3 years and seemed to believe Pine Valley Estates was a tiny country under her iron rule. I'd only dealt with her twice before, each time about supposed noise from these exact same get-togethers, both times quieter than any Thanksgiving at my mom's. But apparently today, Prue was gunning for a full-blown neighborhood save-the-day moment. From her perch behind her curtain, she saw 5 grown men, a couple walkie-talkies we'd forgotten to stow, and some gear bags in my truck. Instead of barbecue smoke, she smelled conspiracy, you know what I mean? We didn't know any of this, of course. The closest we got to plotting was debating if the burgers needed 2 more minutes, or if Ghost was cheating at cards. Then mid-flip, Ghost glances over. Tank, isn't that the HOA lady? Sure enough, we catch a glint of binoculars ducking away. We laugh it off after all. What's she gonna do, call the cops on a barbecue? Turns out, yeah, that's exactly what she did. While we were arguing over ketchup versus mustard, Prue picked up her phone and called 911 breathless with what she thought was patriotic duty. Her call straight up claimed there was a group of military-aged men with tactical equipment conducting reconnaissance and preparing for an attack. You can't make this stuff up. The dispatcher, probably expecting a cat in a tree, suddenly had to treat us like an imminent threat. Protocol means 4 patrol cars, 8 officers, 1 very tired sheriff, all rolled out to my house. Now, Sheriff Dale Morrison, he recognized the address. Turns out he and I served together, so the second he saw the report, he pieced it together: Marcus Tank Rodriguez plus 4 SWAT guys on a weekend. Not exactly ISIS, but he had to play by the book, so he made sure to take point, aiming to keep things chill. Meanwhile, we're still completely clueless, beers in hand, laughter rolling across the yard. Sirens start up, getting closer. Brass shuts off the grill. Phoenix and Sage scan the street like they can smell trouble. Years of training, right? It just kicks in. 4 cop cars whip up to the cabin, lights blazing like we just triggered DEFCON 1. Let me tell you, seeing a perimeter form around your backyard is one hell of a wake-up call. Young officer steps up, hand on radio, eyes darting. We received a report of suspicious activity. He starts glancing between our cargo shorts and the tactical gear Prue saw through her curtains. There's a moment where you can see the gears grinding in his head, like these guys don't look like terrorists, But my supervisor said, treat this serious. We keep it cool. Officer, we're reaching for ID. Slowly. On 3, we pull out our SWAT credentials, nothing but official badges and a couple years' worth of tactical experience. The kid's jaw just about hits the grass. Oh, sir, he mutters. Behind him, officers drop their guard, suddenly realizing they just rolled code 3 on 5 of their own. That's when Morrison pulls up, grinning ear to ear. Tank, you magnificent bastard. Should have known it was you. We laugh it off, but as Morrison walks us through the call, the cost hits. 4 squad cars, all that manpower 3 hours down the drain, and the county's eating a $1, $200 bill for a false alarm. Brass cracks a beer, muttering about HOA fines. But Morrison's face says it all. Somebody just wasted real resources, and the DA is not going to be happy. That's when my team goes full investigative mode. Phoenix pulls up HOA regs. Nothing about 5 guys needing permission to grill. Sage starts asking neighbors if Prue's done this before. Brass calls his contact at the county clerk. Ghost is digging through social media, and what we find over the next few days is wild. Turns out Prue's made a dozen 911 calls in 18 months, every single one dismissed as a false alarm, but each one escalating. From noise to suspicious persons to drug dealing, then the terrorist fantasy. The kicker. 3 months back, her false drug call tied up emergency services just long enough for a neighbor having a heart attack to wait an extra 12 minutes for help. Guy survived, but that delay, that's real damage. Oh, and the plot thickens. Sage, with the real estate scoop, learns Prue's not even the homeowner. She's just a property manager, no real authority. Her boss lives in Florida, totally oblivious. So all these complaints, technically illegal, and every false 911 bill came out of the community fund. That's $15,000 wasted, with no one held accountable yet. We piece it together and the neighborhood starts buzzing. Residents start talking Mrs. Chen, Mr. Williams. Everybody has a Prue story. And suddenly the real twist, the only reason she got to be HOA president at all, was nobody else wanted the job. Now her abuse of power is all anybody can talk about. But she isn't done. A week later, she blasts the community with an urgent email accusing me of intimidating her, demanding my expulsion. The community center's packed for the vote. She puts on a show painting herself the victim of SWAT intimidation, and that's my cue. I stand up, lay out the receipts, every false report, every dollar wasted, every neighbor she's targeted. Then I drop the hammer, the transcript of her terrorist accusation, the $50,000, the community's out because of her, and the revelation she's not even a homeowner. The crowd explodes. Mrs. Chen calls for a vote of no confidence. Councilwoman Vasquez suspends Prue on the spot, and within days, legal notices start rolling in. 12 counts of false reporting impersonating an official civil lawsuits. Her world implodes fast. The final scene. The HOA posts the cost giant red numbers on the community board. Most costly mistake in HOA history. Prue gets a certified letter from her own family giving her 30 days to clear out and threatening to sue for damages. Our neighborhood throws a potluck, laughter, and barbecue in the air, and no more binoculars peeking through curtains. You want to know the wildest part? 3 days before her deadline. Prue knocks on my door. She's lost, tired, finally ready to talk. We sit on the porch, same spot this all started. She tells me I just wanted to protect the neighborhood. I say, you should have started by getting to know the people you live with. Paranoia never built a safe community. Communication does. So here's the question. Who's really at fault when good intentions spiral into disaster? Is it one neighbor with too much time and authority, or a whole community looking the other way until it blows up? Tell me, what would you have done? Drop your thoughts below. Share your stories about wild HOAs or neighbor drama, and if you made it this far, hit that. Justice isn't always quick, but in Pine Valley Estates, it's damn sure satisfying.